Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to Genius to Joe. Today guys, well today is shoot day. I'm here in the wonderful Box Studios in Birmingham, UK. The shoot concept slash theme for today, Hollywood glamour. So, you know, something like classy, vintage, rich, like old-fashioned type of vibe basically. It's heavily inspired by like Hollywood glamour. You touch up on Google, Hollywood glamour, like think of like a girl from like an old James Bond movie or like the Silver Age of Hollywood. Like think of any film from Silver Age of Hollywood or era of Hollywood, and that is basically like the outfit and like the theme I'm going for. Today's model is Jazz. Her name is Jazz. You may have seen her before if you're more of a long-term viewer of my channel. Back in the summer I did a photo shoot with her. So yeah, and I think she's a really good model, so that's why I picked her for today's shoot. So yeah, so she's coming in this really nice long black dress. I think it's really cool. That's what it is when you Hollywood glamour, you think of that. I bought some like long black gloves. I've got like a white fur scarf, like really getting into that theme, right? And I'm also getting like jewelry and stuff like that, so I think it's gonna be really, really cool. And guys, if you wanna start taking your portrait photography seriously, guys, check the top link below, my portrait photography online community, place where you can learn, grow and network as a portrait photographer, get access to amazing courses, go on calls with me and the community, seek advice. I'll answer any concerns that you have with your portrait photography. And it's just a great place if you want to start progressing as a portrait photographer and accelerating it to the pace that you actually want it to be at. So if that's interesting to you, guys, top link description below so we can check it out and learn more. So the shoot is divided into two parts. I'm using my Mamiya RV67. I've got two film stocks. I've got Portra 160 and I've got Ilford XP2. I've never used XP2 before, so I'm excited to use that. So we're going to divide it into two parts. So we have two setups. So right now we've got the black backdrop, which is on the side of me right now. That's going to have cool lighting setup, it's a very complicated lighting setup. Obviously I'll talk about the lighting setup later on in the video, and that's going to be cool. And the second part is going to be in here. We're going to shoot on this couch. It's a very couch right here. Got this cool mirror here. We're going to get some cool shots, much simple lighting setup, and yeah, and we're going to shoot that with the black and white film. And I'm going to divide the shoot into two parts, as in two videos, because sadly my local film lab doesn't develop black and white film, and I'm going to have to wait like a week plus to get it developed and scanned. But I'm still going to get it scanned by my local lab, of course, but I'm going to get it developed somewhere else, because yeah, so I'm going to have to wait like over a week for that. So I'm not going to wait over a week for that, so instead I'm just going to divide it into two parts, shoot the Portra 160. So this video I'm going to show the Portra 160 shots, the black backdrop, and next week you'll see a video with the black and white film on this very couch. So yeah guys, that's a little intro here. I'm going to go into the shoot now. I'll do a little voiceover or something like that, so you guys learn something from this video, give you some tips along the way, lighting techniques, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Cool. Yeah, that's sick. I might come back. Maybe like look at me. Yeah, that's good. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nice, that's sick. Actually, more to the angle, yeah, more of like an angle, or like maybe facing that way more, yeah. And then maybe have your right leg forward like that, yeah, nice. Yeah, sick, nice, that's sick. Do we do that? Okay, 3, 2, 1. That's sick. Like now, just look to the side, so like face me and then look, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Oh crap, this is hard. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I was like shaking because it's like so close.
I can imagine because of the position.
Exactly, I was like so close to him, like trying to hold still. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nice, that was sick. Let's discuss the lighting setup for this shoot. It was a 4-light setup on strobes. It's really nothing that I haven't done before except for 1 or 2 additions. So the first light, my main key light, was a parabolic softbox, 90 centimeter, with a honeycomb grid on it. This was placed at a higher angle, slight 45-degree angle pointing down to create Rembrandt-like shadows on my model's face. If you don't know what that is, Rembrandt lighting is just distinguished by the triangle-like shape of shadow under the eye and on the cheek of the model's face. And it just has this really cool dramatic effect to it, so it's pretty cool, yeah. And I had another light, a beauty dish, as the rim light on the shadow side of the model's face. I had that so she doesn't, kind of highlighting that side of the model's body and to stop her and prevent her from blending in with the background and getting lost in the shadow. And you may not be able to tell, but for the third light, I had a backlight directly behind the model. Basically, I had it on a light stand. I had it literally pointing directly behind her. You can't, it's obviously, she's in front of it, so it's hiding it. And you want, in some of the photos, you can see the light stand, but obviously I just photoshopped it out. Very simple stuff. For that light, I used a reflector dish with a 30-degree honeycomb on it, and yeah, just pointing directly behind her. And for my fourth light, I had one just on the corner of the room. I had it pointing at the ceiling. It was an open reflector dish, and basically why I had that there was because if I bounce it off the ceiling and it hits the model's face, it creates this really, really soft top light, and it kind of just fills in the shadows a little bit on the top of her head and on her forehead, for example. And it just, again, prevents her from blending in with the background, because that's the reason why I use probably a bunch of these lights, is because she's wearing all black and because the background is black, I don't want her to blend in with the background. So obviously the white scarf definitely helped her from stopping from blending in. But another way of doing that is having all these lights creating outlines of her, like the beauty dish, the rim light is creating like an outline of her. So it's not like, again, it's not just like you can see her, it's separating her from the background. You've got that light, the ceiling light, just fill in some shadows so she, again, doesn't blend in with the black backdrop. And the backlight to also create an outline around her to stop blending in with the black backdrop. And the reason why I had grids on basically all of my lights is because what honeycomb grids do, it makes the lighting more directional and stops them from spilling everywhere. And obviously, if I'm shooting against a black backdrop, my intention is to make it look like she's in a void in a way and there's not really anything in the background. So I don't want any of the light spilling onto the backdrop, because that's going to look very unprofessional. It's going to create shadows, it's going to look kind of shit, and it's going to look very distracting. So to prevent that, put honeycomb grids on everything. And to also help with preventing the light from spreading, I added polyboards in there, black polyboards, to kind of stop, again, it's the same thing again, controlling the light, stopping the light from bouncing everywhere and hitting the background in unwanted places, and really controlling where it hits the model. I had one right next to the key light, kind of between the backdrop and the key light. So again, preventing some of that light to hitting the background. And I also had one for the fourth light when it's pointed up against the ceiling, because that is an open reflector. And obviously if I don't have a polyboard in front of it, because I had a polyboard right in front of it covering it, so make sure none of the light spills onto the model's face and creates harsh shadows onto the background. So that's what I did. I just had the light pointing the ceiling, pointing down, make sure none of it hits the model's front part, but only hits the top part, you know what I mean? Really controlling the light here. I'm really trying my hardest to control the light. It's a lot of equipment, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And if you wanted to make a more budget version of this setup, you could simply just have the key light and the rim light, or the key light and the backlight. You don't need the reflector dish, by the way, that was pointing on the ceiling. You don't need that. I just had that because I booked out the studio. I had access to like 4+ strobes. So I'm like, why not take advantage of that, in my opinion? I know how it works. I'm used to it. I've used it before, so I might as well bounce off the ceiling and add some more light there, experiment a little bit, something that I haven't really done before. So that's why I did that there. But obviously, if you're starting out as a portrait photographer and you're starting out in a studio and you want to learn studio lighting, the fundamentals of it, guys, obviously check the top link below. I go over all that in detail in my portrait lighting course. But if you want to learn, if you're not going to get that, the best advice I could give you about learning how to light is starting off with one light source and then just going from there, seeing how it affects the model's face, where shadows come onto the face, how does the light spread everywhere else, all that type of stuff. Learn how to control light. That's the best way. I think this shoot is a perfect example / argument for needing to have a concept to help elevate your portrait photography. You need to keep in mind a story or concept for your shoot if you really want to start elevating your photo shoots and creating professional work, because this is what professionals do. They have a specific concept and story and vision in mind, and then they execute on said vision. So I want you guys to start doing that in your work. Doesn't matter if it's paid work, if it's free work, just start doing it. What is the feeling you're trying to provoke in your photo shoot and in your photos? For example, is it a certain time era, era of time that you want to show off? Is it a culture that you're trying to show off? A personality, a story, a concept, something, a feeling, like I just said. It doesn't matter. Have something in mind, a story you want to have in mind for your next photo shoot, because that is what's going to create your photo. That's what's going to create depth in your photos. And once you've found that concept or theme for your photo shoot, you want to then adjust all of the factors in your photo shoot accordingly to said theme. So for example, it's the outfits, it's your poses, it's your lighting, it's your location, it's everything to do with the shoot, everything that is in the frame. So for this shoot, for example, we're going for, like I said in the intro, Hollywood glamour. We're going for this 1940s old-fashioned fancy dress girl look, right? If that's how you describe it, I don't know. So I knew that I wanted to wear like scarves and long black dresses and gloves and jewelry, really emphasize that. And the main focus was the outfit. So we knew getting the outfit right was extremely crucial. The lighting and the equipment I used and stuff like that all came second. That wasn't the first thing I was thinking about. That was like the second or third thing I was thinking about. We shot medium format film to really emphasize that more vintage and old-fashioned look. I went for Rembrandt lighting to create this more dramatic and harsh, contrasty look in my images, because I knew back in the 40s, for example, photographers didn't really have access to soft lighting. They used hard lighting, which casted harsh shadows on the model's face. So obviously I used soft lighting, but having that Rembrandt lighting almost replicates that in a way. In my personal opinion, I don't think these photos would have turned out the same way if Jazz just came in, the model, she just came in a normal black dress, a white dress, or a hoodie, or a jumpsuit, or something like that. But because the outfit was specifically inspired by this certain time period and culture, or whatever you want to call it, the photo shoot was elevated to another level, and it looks so much more interesting and fun to look at. So I would definitely recommend the next time you do a photo shoot, think of that theme, think of that concept that you want for the photo shoot. And if you say that there is no story, if you say there is no story for your next photo shoot, sadly, the story probably has no depth nor substance to it, or the photo shoot has no depth or substance to it. So you better start thinking of something that you could add to it to really help you. It's a good guide into how you should approach the photo shoot. If you know a specific story, a message that you want to show, you can kind of approach the photo shoot around that. You can be like, okay, this lens may be perfect for it, or this camera may be perfect, this aspect ratio, this composition, all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna give you an example right now, boom. Let's say you are trying to show off masculinity and dominance in your photo shoot. Yeah, say it's a lone wanderer, the guy's in a forest or something like that. So already, we want to shoot in a forest. Oh, boom. Let's say now we want to shoot at lower angles to make the model look bigger within the frame. We want to show off those sharper angles in the poses to emphasize that masculinity and that dominance. Have him doing more attractive facial expressions, for example. Maybe he's looking off into the distance. He's looking out for, I don't know, he's looking into his future, for example. He's very ambitious. He's walking down a path or something. Anything like that. And you see, simply because I came from the theme of masculinity and on Lone Wanderer, I knew I wanted to shoot in a forest. I knew what type of poses I wanted to do. I knew what type of compositions I wanted to get. Maybe even the lens. Maybe I want to use an 85mm lens or something like that to really make him look most attractive. Guys, like I said, that theme alone, I've just got all that stuff from that. So guys, for your next photo shoot, think of that personality, think of that style, whatever it is, and then apply that to everything in your photo. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Guys, I hope I gave you a new insight into how you could approach your next photo shoots. Think about that story, guys. Think about that story, prepare for it, know exactly what to do for your next photo shoot once you've thought of that concept. Have a solidified idea in your brain, because I made plenty of videos on how you can prepare for your photo shoots, how to communicate that with your model, with the people that you're working with, like a makeup artist, a stylist, all that type of stuff, because this is what's really gonna make your work look super professional and stand out to everyone else, because everyone else wants to do these basic photo shoots that take like an hour a day, or hour for 1 hour. Or let's just go to the city centre and let's take some photos. And no, guys, if you keep doing that, there's nothing wrong. If you're starting out, you can keep doing that. If you're gonna constantly do that, we're just gonna do a random photo shoot, how we're going on the walk in the park, your work is never going to become the best it can be. So if you want to really elevate your work, start making more ambitious photo shoot concepts and projects, you need to start thinking of that story, that theme. So that like 60 times in this video. Story, theme, culture, personality, message, all that type of stuff. Think about all of that. This is what's going to make your work the best it can be. Guys, if you want to start taking your portrait photography seriously and want to take it even further, guys, top link in the description below. My portrait photography online community, also known as Photo Genius University, a place where you can learn, grow, network as a portrait photographer, get access to amazing courses, get access to an amazing community full of portrait photographers, seek advice, get weekly calls and lectures with me so I can personally coach you on how you can improve your portrait work. Guys, the perfect place for you, my throat is going. Right, but it's the perfect place for you guys. Sorry, this chair is really squeaky too. It's not me farting or anything. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography. And I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.